Hi everyone, my name is MayaIatroufinalpowerpointecofeminism, and I'm doing my presentation on Charlene Spretnak and her take on ecofeminism. So first I'm going to discuss what is ecofeminism. Ecofeminism is a feminist theory that was founded in 1974 by Françoise de Bon. Ecofeminism is combining environmental concerns with feminist ones. So as you can see at the top there, I included photos of women in nature, and it just shows how women are connected with nature. Ecofeminism describes the ways both nature and women are treated by a patriarchal society. During the 1980s and 1990s is when ecofeminism became really popular. In 1980, there was the first ecofeminist conference, and it was called the Women and Life on Earth of Ecofeminism in the 80s. So it started to become really popular, and more people became on board and started to do research on ecofeminism. So next, we're going to talk about Charlene Spretnak's background. She was born in Pittsburgh and raised in Columbus, Ohio. She's graduated from the University of California with a Master's of Arts in English and American Literature. Her ecofeminism ideas came from 11 summers she spent in a girls' summer camp at Hocking Hills of southeastern Ohio. She found her passion for nature and started to explore those views, and that's how she got interested in ecofeminism as well as environmentalism. Her work discusses themes around social criticism, cultural history, religion, and ecological thought. She is a professor at California Institute of Integral Studies in San Francisco. She's also inducted into the Ohio Women's Hall of Fame. So now I'm going to talk about Charlene Spretnak's contributions to environmentalism and ecofeminism. She is a writer and social activist for environmentalism and ecofeminism. She's written over 9 books. She also loves to advocate her work, therefore is a great public speaker. As you can see on the right there, she is giving one of her speeches about her work. Green Politics was one of her most popular books, and it helped the Green Party movement. The book was only published for about 6 months, but it still became really famous. She is one of the co-founders of 2 branches of the feminist movement. The 2 branches are the women's spirituality movement and ecofeminism. In 2006, she was named one of the 100 eco-heroes of all time by the British government's Environmental Department. In 2012, she received the Damar Award for Lifetime Achievement as one of the premier visionary feminist thinkers of our time, and that was from the Association for the Study of Women and Mythology. Throughout her life, she received many awards and received a lot of recognition. Therefore, she had a big contribution to the theories of environmentalism and ecofeminism. So now we're going to talk about Charlene Spretnak's take on ecofeminism. One of her most popular books is Reweaving the World, The Emerge of Ecofeminism. And on the right there, you can see a picture of the front of the book. So one of her most popular ideas is how she believes women are drawn to the environment simply because they are women. Women are drawn to the environment because they can give birth to new life as well as make food to feed their children. She talks a lot about how women can produce milk to feed their children as well as animals can. Animals can as well give birth to new life and feed their children, so it shows how women and animals are connected. She also talks about how patriarchy is killing the environment. She believes a patriarchy society is killing the environment. She thinks that more people are caring less about the environment. She believes if women were in charge, that more people would be focused on environmental concerns. One of her main examples was about a group of people that were wearing hats that were made out of birds. She talked to one woman specifically, and the woman was talking about how she didn't care that the birds were dying for her hat because she was saying there were so many birds in this world, and she was comparing birds with mosquitoes. And Charlene was just appalled by that because she thinks animals shouldn't be killed for a hat, and she says that those ideas were because of a patriarchy society. The next idea was about religion and spirituality. She believes believing in religion brings women closer to nature. She thinks a goddess is a good example of a woman who is connected with the environment. For example, she talks a lot about how goddesses have connections with animals. For example, animals are their teachers, and they give a lot of examples of how flowing water gave them life, so how nature gave them life. She discusses how more women need to connect themselves with nature. She talks a lot about how when her daughter was 3 days old, she brought her to a little garden and introduced her to plants. She thought about that event as a spiritual, eco-feminist ritual, and she thinks everyone should do that. She thinks everyone should go into nature and learn. The next one she talks about is how she wants more people to educate themselves on ecofeminism. As I said before, a lot of people don't actually know what ecofeminism is. So she wants more people to get out and read articles and books so that they can educate themselves. She also thought how feminists didn't know a lot about ecofeminism. They were just fighting for just the basic feminist movement. And then radical feminists started learning about ecofeminism, and they started to promote that as well. So how does Charlene Spretnak promote ecofeminism? As you can see, I attached a screenshot of her website. She promotes all her work and lectures on her website. She also has links to all her videos talking about her work. Her main motto is to learn from example. So she wants people to see how she's promoting ecofeminism all the time, and she keeps coming out with new work, and she wants people to learn from her and to start going out and exploring nature. She also talks a lot about how you cannot rely on the future. You need to start now. Also, I really enjoyed how there was a contact feature on this website, because if anyone has any questions or anything to do with ecofeminism or environmentalism, you can just send her a question and she'll answer. She just wants everyone to be educated, and therefore she's educating people with her website, as well as if anyone has any questions, you can always ask the website. So now we're going to talk about the critiques of ecofeminism. While doing my research, I found there was a lot of critiques of ecofeminism. One of the main ones is how it only discusses men and women, so it doesn't discuss any other gender. It also just doesn't talk a lot about intersexuality, therefore only discusses one type of women, so it's not taking account of any culture or any differences. Also, the whole theory is just limiting because it only discusses gender and nature, not much more, as well as people think it's mystical and not scientific. Also, some people think it's an anti-progressive movement, therefore it's not making any progress. So now I'm going to do a conclusion of my PowerPoint. So first, we learned about what ecofeminism was. So ecofeminism is the comparison of women and nature. It shows how women and nature are connected. We also learned how Charlene Spretnak thinks that men are dominating nature, and how men are taking control of women and nature. So she thinks that because men are in control, that they think there's a dominant sex, therefore they don't care much about women or nature. So that shows that the oppression of women and the oppression of nature are connected. And her main point was that she wants everyone to educate themselves. Personally, I didn't know much about ecofeminism before my research, so even I need to do some further research. And I found this theory very interesting because I never thought about it before. And I'm going to go and read more articles and books, and she wants everyone to go out and educate themselves. She also thinks that everyone should just get outside and connect with your surroundings and see how women in nature connect right in front of your eyes. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my PowerPoint, and I hope you learned a lot. Thank you. Have a good day.